James Tedesco is back. He supplies the kickoff. It'll be Newcastle with a bit of breeze at their backs in this opening half. The Saifiti brothers back in tandem in the front row tonight for the Knights. It's Daniel to begin, returning from a rib cartilage injury after missing Origin 3 for New South Wales just on a week and a half ago. Brayley waits at dummy half. Barnett playing in the back row tonight with Connor Watson once again filling a lock forward role as he did earlier in the season. Verrills goes back there for Hutchison to hook it away or try to hook it away from Ponga, who has Dom Young back there with him. The young Englishman all picked up in a solid tackle there by Radley. I'll come left for Hutchison. He'll just put a poised kick in. Tupou is there. You see the breeze there affecting the flight of that ball. Smith for Hutchison. Still the last. A gap opens up for Hutchison. Now Ponga on a chase. He'll win the race. Alarming. Verrills. Walker at the back to Tedesco. Holds it up for Billy Smith, who's played in 4 NRL games and scored in all 4 of them. Looking to keep the streak alive. Crichton goes to Radley. Warrior Hargreaves will just punch it forward here. They set themselves for an option on the last play. Back to the left. Hutchison. Here's Tedesco. Cut out ball. A whistle and the pass has been ruled forward. Real chance here for the Knights. Jacob Saifiti punching it forward. Brayley counting numbers at dummy half. It comes across from Clifford. First man option was Daniel Saifiti. Good tackle there by Tupanua. The target was Sam Walker. Now Jacob Saifiti right through the middle and the Roosters open up. Terrific work by Newcastle. The 1-2 punch. Saifiti for Saifiti.
And that's how you play up-tempo football. Use your big boppers on small men. Create quick, play the ball. And the speed of today's game just allows people to get over the advantage line against retreating defence and crash over close to the line. So brilliant lead-up play there from the Newcastle Knights.
It's Clifford first up. Kalen Ponga kicks goals. We know that quite obviously. So does Mitch Barnett. But Clifford, it's going to be an ankle problem by the looks of things for Billy Smith. Let's hope it is nothing more sinister, or perhaps just a minor ankle injury. Watson for Crossland. Here they come again. Kurt Mann with Heimel Hunnett is outside. Ponga back on the inside. Was a touch there by Tedesco and knocked on. If it was, and not knocked on by Newcastle, it will be 4 points.
Goes forwards off James Tedesco and hits the bicep of Kalen Ponga and then travels forward.
Yeah, they'll get the option, mate.
10 metres out from Brayley. It goes all off the arms there of Daniel Saifiti, but this time the Roosters up inside the 10.
Yep.
Comes back to Liu. Now Radley, Walker, they've got them shot here. Over the top, Ikavalu, loses the ball. As he was about to reach out and put it down, it flies away from his grip. Last play here for Hutchison. Up a lead again here tonight. Ponga with the Roosters running into this breeze. Takes it at the 20. And it's Dominic Young. Or has it stripped there one-on-one. Tupanua dropped off on the tackle. And Joseph Manu comes up with a strip. And the Roosters, a bonus set. Quickly they go through Tedesco to Tupanua. They're inside the 20. Tedesco on first receiver. Radley. Working it forward, Egan Butcher. Out there now with Matt on this left-hand side. Verrills. We'll find Walker. Tedesco holds it up. Tupanua. They had to find a way through. The Knights don't recover off the one-on-one strip by Manu. And Tatili Tupanua has first points for the Roosters.
Yeah, great heads-up play from Manu. We saw Latrell Mitchell do a similar strip in Origin and just swings momentum in his team favour in that contest. Has done the same thing here for Joseph Manu.
Tupanua is the right centre. I don't know who's playing wing in attack. We'll find out in a moment. Manu is out there. Here is Tupanua. No sign of Joseph Manu. Go inside the 20. Isaac Liu, he's the dummy half. Here is Hutchison, gets in behind Tuala. Radley, an absolute Hail Mary. and he finds Joey Manu. What a pass. Terrific stuff from the Roosters. They might be all hands on deck as far as positions go, but when you throw them like that and hit Joey Manu on the chest, it's just too easy.
Well, in the first 5 minutes, Drew Hutchison did a very similar thing. Got the ball on fifth play and held it tempo and accelerated through the line. And Newcastle Knights just held off him.
The Roosters so far this season, it's been that kind of year, hasn't it? Now Tedesco. How about that for a kick to give them the lead? From Brayley, goes across to Clifford, who puts it in the air. The kick will be too big. Tupou makes an easy catch. And maybe one shot here for the Roosters from their own 20. Tupou, Tedesco. They won't die wondering. There was a chance there. Still a chance. Manu with about 17 teammates to his right-hand side. And now he gets away from Clifford. Barnett will stop him. Don't know what happened there with Jay Clifford, but he opened the door and Manu almost set the Roosters alight. Plenty of injuries once again for the Roosters, but they lead the Knights 10 points to 8. The Knights led 8 points to 0. You figured that wasn't enough points. It's a disadvantage they'll be at here in this second 40. And the Roosters took the lead. It just made it double jeopardy for Newcastle. Tedesco makes the catch. Shallow one. And we're seeing what the Roosters can do with the ball and the wind in this second half. Smith, Cronk and Parker to bring you all the action of this second 40 before game number 2, the Storm up against the Cowboys, and that jumped up very quickly there. The Knights, the kick across field from Hutchison. A chance there for Tupou to run onto that one, but he just couldn't judge the bend of the ball. Play 35 metres out on the last. It's Clifford who'll hang one in the breeze once again. Doesn't go too far down the field. The Roosters will back away from it. And then it was batted backwards by Barnett off the head of Watson, towed by Sue. Here's a chance for Kurt Mann. Beware the second kick. Not a bad one. In fact, it's a very good one. Tedesco, though, he can turn on a dime. You on this right-hand side in the reshuffle. Bradley at the line. Hutchison. Here's a chance. Good hands. Tedesco onto Crichton. Comes across to Frizzell. Gives it off to Tupou. Standing in the corner, he did well to offload it. Back to Walker. Oh, good tackle there by Suaso Sue. Cut him in half. Now Tedesco. Last play, out the back. Isaac Liu. Tedesco fell over. Here's Egan Butcher goes over the top. It comes wide to Lamb. He's tackled by Young.
Here come Sydney Roosters, their first attacking set in the second half. Let's see where they set up with obviously their changes to the edges, but look to Victor Radley to play a big part in this set.
There's your mark.
Do they want a quick tap? Yes, they do. And it's Tedesco who's up there pushing up, making the Knights make decisions defensively. Nat Butcher. As the Roosters go inside the 20 at the moment, no change to our half-time score line of 10-8. We've had 16 minutes gone. Tedesco puts on the brakes, comes back to Butcher, says thanks, Teddy. Wasn't expecting that right there. Now Burnett tackle, and they're still 5 metres out. Go to Tedesco, cut out ball. How good is he? He fires it to Tupou. He knew exactly where they had to go. Down a short side, the Knights exposed. Tedesco finds Tupou.
I was talking about Victor Radley. Keep your eyes on him going into first receiver and freeing up Sam Walker. But one of the best players in our competition is stuck with a 3-on-2 down a short side 10 metres from the try line, and he will eat that up every day of the week.
He'll bend it back, and hits the uprights. Just the breeze. You see the effect of it there, knocking that one a long way to the left-hand side on its flight. Here is Verrills, 2 plays remaining in this set. Walker to Tedesco, then on to Lamb. Some space here for Manu coming across. Clifford is there. Manu grubbers for himself.
Up against a good defensive side of the Sydney Roosters.
There's Tedesco now through the middle. Frizzell with his hands full. Tedesco beats him. Still going, Teddy. Links up with Walker. Chopped down there and a try saver by Barnett. They'll play it 15 metres out. From Verrills, here is Radley, juggled by Baker. Fires it back on the inside. Last play. Tupanua. They found the extra man. And it's Lachlan Lamb. James Tedesco again, right through the middle. Does the damage for the Roosters. And Lamb has 4 points off the back of it.
Yeah, James Tedesco, stand up and applaud. Straight through the teeth of the Newcastle Knights defence.
Halfway line. A lovely play from Radley Tedesco. Baker is there. He was grabbed by a man from behind. He'll be taken down here 5 metres out. Quickly, it comes back to Walker. He finds a charging Angus Crichton. Good tackle there by Jaden Brayley to save a try. Last play, a kick from Verrills, a dummy half. Ponga slipping over. It'll be a goal line dropout. Just about a full set here. Jerry wants to argue the toss there with Mitch Barnett. Here is Tedesco. Short ball this time for Tupanua. It's an exhibition. A line-breaking, ball-playing, free-running exhibition from number 1, James Tedesco.
That was the 11th kick in this second half of the Newcastle Knights, and not one of them have been effective as the Roosters have got a try celebration that they like. It's a 10-pin bowling show from James Tedesco, who's been skittling like 10 pins with his ball playing in this second half. But it was a poor kick that led to the good field position for the Sydney Roosters. And the guy with the hot hand, James Tedesco, goes down a short side, line-breaking, tackle-busting run from Satili Tupanua inside Brayley, and that's for his second try. And a beautiful performance from one, the skipper, but also the edge-back rower, the Sydney Roosters.
With injuries they've had this year, especially in the halves, of course, missing Luke Keary, I wouldn't have been surprised at all at some stage as down go the 10 pins for the Roosters. We've seen that one a long, long time ago.
They've really fallen off a cliff in terms of their enthusiasm, energy, and coming up with some type of plan to combat the wind that's in their face.
Hutchison will find Angus Crichton, who's still going. Tedesco is there. Of course he's there. He goes back to Angus Crichton. Another try assist for James Tedesco and Crichton. Yes, they are eating them up tonight on the Sunshine Coast.
And he's hungry old Angus Crichton, because we're worried about the mismatch of speed with Kurt Mann up against Angus defending in the centres. But what Angus has that Kurt doesn't is power. In terms of some other young guys have really stood up. I thought Drew Hutchison did a real good calming influence in the halves position, but your 4 favourite players have played extra minutes off the bench. Butcher, Lamb and the Baker. They've played long minutes, longer than expected under Trent Robinson, with a couple of injuries to Ikevalu and Billy Smith. So there's a bit of good fortune or good minutes for those boys to the back end of this year.
They came from 8 points to 0 down. It was the Knights on top early, but the Roosters, just as they did last week, on the back of James Tedesco's brilliance, tonight have beaten Newcastle 28 points to 8.